Hey YouTube, Slip On Queen here. Just want to get here today, and I want to do some swatches of this brand new palette that I recently ordered from JB and Eve's. This is the Amor brand, and this is the 15 eyeshadow palette called Shine Bright. And it's supposed to be a dupe of a Natasha Denona palette. I think it's one of her tropical ones that she did. And I wanted to go in here and actually swatch each color for you guys so you guys could see what they look like. So let me go ahead, get me a makeup wipe. I do want to do a few swatches of the palette and also do some swatches with some eye primer. So this one here is the Shine Bright palette. So we're just going to start from the top. I'm going to swatch them without any primer at first. And then I will swatch it with primer as well for you guys. Okay, so that's the first row without primer. So it's very sheer, but those are more of the sheer colors in the palette anyways. So I'm going to wipe those swatches off, and then I'm going to apply some primer to my hand, and then I'll swatch a little bit more of those same colors so you guys can see what it looks like when you have a primer on. Okay. Because I just want to see. I haven't tried these with primer yet. And I just want to see if it looks any better. So like I said, these are more sheer, but with primer you do get a better view of the colors and stuff, like you can see it better. So I do like that, but like I said, these are the more sheer colors in the palette. So they're not going to be like super like bright and popping and everything. So now I've wiped my hand off, there's no primer on my hand, and now I'm going to apply the next row. And these are a lot more pigmented, so I think you'll have better luck with seeing the colors without primer. So this is without primer, which they're very pigmented, they're very beautiful. And then I'm going to apply some primer on my hand. Let me wipe these off, just so you guys can see what it looks like with primer. Get a little bit of this clean color primer they sent me in my order. Oh yeah, the darker colors you're definitely seeing a lot better when you have the primer. I mean, not that you couldn't see them already because they're very bright, but look at this. That's with primer. Now that's a lot better. I'm very excited for that. So that's very beautiful. I feel like this is going to be a beautiful summer palette. I'm glad I got it now before summer's over, so I definitely need to be using it. Alright, so I've got my hand clean again, no primer on it, and we're going to do this last row without primer. Oh man, these are so pigmented, oh my gosh. And then I'm also going to do swatches with the primer like I did the other rows. Look how pigmented those are. Those are without primer, guys. Isn't that beautiful? Okay, so I'm going to apply some primer. Wipe these off so there's nothing on my hand here. Dry my hand off. Let's put some primer on. Got some primer on now. Oh, these are super pigmented. Like, it just blows my mind. And primer makes such a difference. So this is with primer, so you can tell primer makes a difference, guys. Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. But as I showed you, you've seen it was already pigmented without primer, so I just feel like either way you could really make these colors work. I did want to try one thing though. So I have an eyeshadow brush, and I know when you do swatches with your fingertips, it's a lot different than when you actually use a brush. So I'm going to apply one of the colors with a brush and without primer, and then I'm going to try one swatch with primer with the eyeshadow brush so you guys can see. So we're going to do the color Stellar, which is a really beautiful blue. So I've got some on there. And the cool thing about these colors is they're buildable. So they might not be like real pigmented at the moment, but that's a swatch without primer. And then we're going to do just a little bit of primer. I've got a little bit on my fingertip here. I'm going to put some right here so you guys can see what it looks like with primer and using the brush. Oh yeah, that's a lot different. Okay, so here's what, okay, this is with the brush. This is an application with the brush without primer, and this is with primer and then using the brush. So you can see using primer, you're going to have better luck with these shadows like actually showing up. So it's a smart idea to use primer, and like I said, there's a lot of palettes that have like glitter and stuff. You might want to use, instead of just a traditional eye primer, maybe use a glitter eye primer if you're going to do more of a glitter look. That way you don't have fallout and stuff. But yeah, you can tell a difference by using the brush, and by using primer and not using primer, it's going to make a big difference. So I did want to do that because a lot of videos when I do my swatches of my palettes and stuff, I don't mention that. I normally just go on with it and swatch it with my fingertip, and I never do the brush. So I did want to do that this time though, just to kind of show you guys and give you an idea of how the palette is. And I'm really impressed with it so far. I cannot wait to do some eye looks with you guys. Maybe I'll do a few, maybe I'll do a video on one, or maybe I'll post some on my Instagram. I will link my Instagram down below in the description box, so you guys can definitely check that out. But super excited for this. I cannot wait to do some eye looks for you guys. So like I said, I did order this palette off of JB and Eve's. I will link their website down below and their Instagram, so you guys can check them out and follow them. And this was only like, I think $5 or $6. It was really inexpensive, but it's a really awesome palette. So and they're also cruelty free, so I wanted to let you guys know that the whole brand's cruelty free. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will see you in my next video. Thanks. Bye.